G'day and welcome to another edition of Hef's Beer Reviews. Today I am reviewing this beer here. It's just been released onto the market. It's Reschs Real Lager. Now, if you have been an observer or a participant in the New South Wales beer scene for about the same amount of time as I have, or longer, then you would remember that there was a Reschs Real back in the 90s and early 2000s. It was called Reschs Real Bitter. From memory, it was about somewhere between 4.4 and 4.6% ABV. I can't remember. It was one that was at the lower end of the price spectrum. It was about $20 for a case of 24 375ml stubbies or cans, and it was also frequently sold in the 30 can blocks. Most people I know don't have particularly fond memories of that beer in terms of taste, but certainly for people of my age, it was a good cheap option, and it was certainly better than the other cheap option out there, which for most of us was Tooheys Red. I'd much prefer the old Reschs Real to Tooheys Red. Anyway, this is a new one. It's not the same one. Reschs Real Lager. It comes in this 330ml bottle. Yes, it's a small bottle. Not as small as the bottle that another recently released beer comes in though. This is 4.2% ABV, so it's only 1.1 standard drinks. My understanding is that the bottle size and the ABV has to do with the mission statement of making a beer that they could sell a case of for $50 or less. So that's the reason why I got a 6-pack and paid $20 for it. Let's crack it open and see what it's like. Twist tops and pop it into this Headmaster schooner glass. Alright, I didn't think I was being particularly gentle with the pour, but a very disappointing amount of head there. I do apologise for the apparent dirty glass that I poured that beer into. Pardon me. You can see it's a clear golden colour. We've got just a fine ring of white head. Medium amount of carbonation, I would say. Aroma. Smells like a light Australian adjunct lager, and if you're watching this review, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's see what the taste is like. Cheers. Light in body, no bitterness to speak of. Very, very easy to drink. The flavour profile, look, it is not the most flavoursome beer that I've ever drunk, but there are some sweet malts coming through. There's a hint, of course, of the Pride of Ringwood hops. It's sessionable. It's a pretty crisp finish. I think it's pretty crisp. Yeah, it's smooth. It's ticking the boxes that I think it was intended to tick. It's got some negative reviews on the Reschs Appreciation Society. And look, if you're a person who is a real advocate of Reschs Draft and Reschs Pilsner, then you're a person who likes those beers over other options like VB and Tooheys and Carlton because it's got more flavour to it. So this, I can see why people are saying that they don't particularly like this one, but it's not meant to compete with those beers. It's not meant to be the same as those beers. It's meant to be light and refreshing. And I think it ticks those boxes. Would I buy it again? Look, the 330ml bottles kind of turn me off. I can deal with the 355s, I guess, but 330s It's pretty small. It's pretty small. It's not a bad beer though. You know, I'm more than happy to get through the 6 pack. It's a hot day today. It was over 30 degrees. Had a couple of hours out in the garden, and it's hitting the spot. You know, it's very refreshing. In terms of a score, look, I can't give it a particularly high score. It's by no means an outstanding Australian lager. I'd rather the draft or the Pilsner or the DA over the real, but it's not too bad. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5, a 3 out of 5 for the new Reschs Real Lager. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time on Hef's Beer Reviews.